Get away, sir, please.
We have our man in the Crocs. What's he doing? Alright, gathered around here today because obviously the city council voted and there's been a change of an LSPD leadership, or SAPD, sorry. So if you guys want, we can go over all the reasons why this move was made. Did anyone like to hear that?
We would like to hear that, please, for Weasel News. Thank you.
Alright. Hanz will give our official statement here.
All right. Hello, how's everybody doing?
Aren't you yelling?
I'm
Yeah, speak up a little bit, Hans.
Speak up.
Okay, can you hear
There
me?
you go.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll make this as detailed as possible. I'm sure everybody here is somewhat shocked, but I'll do my best to reel you in, so to say. So this change in leadership was a direct result as how this department conducted themselves under Mr. Levesque's leadership. I'm sure it was no shock to everybody that the word on the street was, in layman's term, it was unprofessional at best. There were several allegations made against the PD involving corruption, trampling of civil rights, liberties, and so forth. In my opinion, the tipping point on this little ship, or how do I say? The tipping point was the illegal search and seizure at Binny's on January 31st. So, as a direct result of that, again, it was the final tipping point. That's why we're here today. Is anybody confused? I can, elaborate on things. I know it wasn't the best, but it's what I got at the moment.
So I'd like to add that the private conversations between City Council and Mr. Levesque were not productive, as we had multiple ones, and none of the changes we talk about ever came into effect months later. So it was the unwillingness to change, the unwillingness to accept any balance of power, right? That was overruler or nothing. So with these issues, we'd like to implement a more new system to the SAPD of checks and balances. So as some of you may know, Cole and Woodson will be taking over as your active chiefs in the co-chief role. So hopefully Woodson can check Cole can check Woodson. Hanz, as the new district attorney, can check all the paperwork and double check them, and then city council will double check everyone. So it's a lot of checks and balances here, a more organized system. Hanz has been drafting up beautiful SOPs for how your department will operate, with great rules and guidelines to follow that are written out and easy to use, so we can bring some real structure to this department. Okay, what this department needs is structure and likable figureheads. Okay, and that's exactly what we're bringing you here now. Okay, we're gonna move to a 3-strike system. So let's just say you're not wearing your uniform, right? You are clocked in and you're not wearing your uniform, or you're wearing a weird edited version of your uniform. This is not to include like changing your hands or basic modifications to make yourself not scuffed. This is stuff as you're wearing the wrong uniform, right? Maybe a uniform outside of your rank, maybe just wearing something completely weird, right? That would be 1 strike, and then you have 2 strikes left. Does that make sense? You violate an SOP, you get a strike. It's all written out for you. You just need to read through them, okay?
Sounds good, sir.
Now, Hanz will elaborate more, as he's the one drafting these as your district attorney.
Okay. So these SOPs are pretty, well, as it's stated, standard operating procedure. This is something along the lines of what Johnny had just said, is your uniform is something that we consider important. How is the city going to know who you are if you aren't properly identified? So a standard, uniform will be issued by Mr. Cole and Woodson. Again, if you deviate from that uniform, it is a strike. However, the further SOPs are going to be when you Mirandize someone, how to properly detain, when you can conduct an arrest, probable cause, reasonable suspicion, and so forth. I don't expect everybody to know this all at once, which is why I believe Mr. Cole and Woodson are going to do what I would say kind of a speedy or a refreshing academy for you fine gentlemen. Is anybody anything I had just said?
No, sir.
No? Okay. So these SOPs are clearly, still in work. I have a lot of gray areas to, work out with Mr. Cole and Woodson. We'll be working hand in hand to make sure that no well, for lack of a better term, fuck ups occur, and if they do, a strike will be implemented. However, the severity of the fuck up could just be, you'll be removed.
Yes.
Is there anything else I need to mention regarding the SOPs?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will these be public? Will these be...
These SOPs will be public knowledge once completed.
Okay, thank you.
Another thing we're going to focus on the department is, as we were talking about the academy. So what we're striving for here is set academy days. So let's say it's every other Friday. There's the basic academy, which, let's just say it's 2 hours long set. And that's the academy that, let's say, will allow you to, be a cadet and start riding along with people, right? You finish that 2 hour academy. So past there, we're going to focus more on certifications, right? So we're going to have, let's say, your AR certificate, right? Where you can get certified to use your AR, and that's where the weapon course would come in, if you catch my drift. We have med certification, and all these, hopefully give you a little boost in your pay. When you achieve a certification, it'll be, in the NDT. Maybe you can get, hostage negotiation certification. So with
Interceptors.
Yes, exactly. Driving certification to drive faster cars, stuff like that. So instead of an 8-hour academy, we split it up in 2 hours of the core stuff you need to be an officer, which is when you can start learning on the job and going out. And then, we split up the other 8 hours into certifications, right? So
That
if you
are
want
optional.
Exactly, optional. And then we have optional, academies you could go through, which would give you a pay raise, like the gun course. Maybe every Friday you have an hour in the gun course. You get that certification, you get a $5,000 bonus. You know what I mean? So, really, basically paying you to train more. You know what I mean? But it's all optional.
Is that clear for you fine gentlemen down there?
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yes, sir.
It's a brilliant idea drafted by Mr. Johnny to incentivize you to further your training and so forth.
I have a question.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
yes.
If we're already certified in the AR or like a highest movement vehicle, are we going to have to retake the test?
Are you
I would say so. These are going to be like real certifications.
asking if you'll have to undergo training?
It'll show up in like your MDT when you're using it, stuff like that. You'll be actually certified.
Yeah. Current certified people will be looked at first, and it'll be handled in a more efficient and timely manner, so you'll be able to use them vehicles and weapons faster than, say, somebody that comes in new. So
Yes. So we'll have moto certification. We'll also even have academy certification, right? Well, you'll be able to host a private academy with, let's say 1 or 2 cadets, because we all know, some cadets just don't have the time to schedule the academy day, right? And we can't have 100 scheduled academy dates because then there's a million academies, right? So we can start having private academies where, someone who gets their academy, license or whatever you want to call it, certification, then they can host a private academy. They get paid, let's say $10K for hosting the private academy. You know what I mean? So they get paid for their certification, and they're training 1 or 2 officers that maybe couldn't make normal time slots. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So
If I may add-
certifications all over the board.
So while
have a
you
question.
fine gentlemen undergo this certification, something Mr. Versace brought to me that was he felt, and I'm sure a couple of others feel this way, is that promotions were overlooked. This is being looked into. Mr. Cole and Woodson both know the value you bring to this department, and well, I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I can at least promise you that I will speak on your behalf if you feel that you were overlooked.
Hallelujah.
Yep.
I have a question in
Don't
the
worry,
back.
boys. We are
Blue shirt.
going to be making many changes that are going to help everybody.
There's a
Yes.
question over here with a beautiful gentleman with a beautiful mustache and the mullet that I truly love. Go ahead, sir.
All right, Mr.
It's a
Enzo.
goatee,
like
but thank
your-
you.
I like your mullet.
Well, I'm kind of, answering my own question, but does the co-chiefs already been announced?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes.
That is
I can tell.
Mr. Cole and Woodson.
Okay.
All right. Another thing on the inner workings. Okay. So out of the officers here, who's tried the newly balanced vehicles by our wonderful tuning?
I have.
And what is your feedback?
I love it.
They're
Oh,
so much
it's
better.
wonderful. It's
All
great.
right.
So much
Perfect.
better.
Perfect. Okay. So, well, speaking of moto certifications, I'm going to retouch those very soon. So hopefully we can get some
Thank you.
good moto going. So we should do those certifications soon because that'll help a lot with catching criminals. So
Yes.
hopefully all
Yep.
that is sorted now as far as the cars, because the core cars right now should be able to. If you can't catch a criminal in those, you can't drive, man.
Sir, good question.
Very true.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Are we gonna get some proper fucking belts?
What do you mean?
Look
Yeah,
at his
like a
belt.
belt.
It doesn't have a holster.
Oh yeah.
or some of us have 2 tasers on the same belt, or
Man, you
2
don't
of
like
us-
two
Full
whoa,
radios.
You don't like two radios
Man,
and 2
double the
holsters?
tasers,
Come on,
man. Yeah, what do you
tasers. I
mean?
said,
Do
no,
you
no, no.
want-
Oh my
do you
gosh,
want
it
dual
it
wielders
doesn't make sense.
certified?
That's what I'm
The
trying
more
to
the
say.
better.
It doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Dual
You don't have you
certified,
two
All right,
hands, 2
okay.
radios?
Look, he doesn't have a holster, is what I'm trying to get at. And then the other thing is, some of the vehicles, the lighting's mixed up. If anyone know how to fix those, please.
The local Goodwill is open.
That was good.
Who's donating holsters?
That's something a city issue. We're working on those, man. Just trust me, Mr.
I don't
Rocket
know
is
about the
working on those.
lights. I don't know about the lights, but the belts can be fixed.
That was good.
We're getting batons.
You have
Negative.
batons.
Oh, that's
You have a
You want-
taser. You don't need a baton.
Do you-
Baton
do
is
you
You
in
got the mag light
1980s.
too.
Do you want the
Yeah.
I was
baton?
about to
I'll
say,
give you
what
a
is the
baton.
LA riots?
Oh no.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Wait, I
riots.
can't
Wait,
tase
don't-
him. I gotta beat him over the head.
Don't they have mag lights?
Yeah, we.
They
Uh,
do. They do.
Water, man, like,
Okay.
I'm out of taser cartridges.
Most of you don't know the flashlight used to be a very nice utility,
Yeah,
and it was just too strong for officers. So we now have tasers that work better.
we could literally kill all the cops
Okay.
right now. They're literally
All right. Is there any questions in regards to anything that was covered?
Literally have a bomb.
Nope.
negative.
Negative.
Little do they know I have a bomb in my pocket.
Negative.
Yeah. All active officers, you'll be detailed
Sir, you're
information
on
will
the
be
news.
available soon as Cole and I discuss things and changes immediately that will help and affect this department. So
All right. So overall, as the officers, what would you guys say of this plan? Okay. In your words, how do you like it?
It sounds
As long as
Sounds
the
promising.
gears work properly.
sounds promising.
All right. Let's make the SAPD
Anybody-
great again, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Sounds wonderful.
Let's start by calling it the LSPD again, man. SAPD's dumb.
facts.
San Andreas Police Department.
San Andreas is a state, man.
Exactly. We are the state.
Yeah, that's
What?
yeah.
And we are the Senate.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's go,
Adam
man. Give it up for the new Chiefs, man.
Banger!
Let's go.
Congratulations,
Let's go.
gentlemen. You did a
Yes,
wonderful
sir.
job.
Thank you,
Yes,
gentlemen.
sir.
We now move
And
into the
ladies.
good light, man. And
Hans,
Hanz, man.
Hans, I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Will
I'm
you know,
sorry, I need my
1034
nipples.
still be in effect?
10:30.
Till the end of time, man.
There
The
will
Chiefs
always
have
be a
agreed.
code and a it'll always be in our book. We'll see.
Can you get,
However-
can you get numbers
Cole's
tattooed on
social
you?
media doesn't
Yeah,
work.
so-
Right, Cole?
However,
Yeah.
this 10
I would've said it myself.
status
I've just
should no
done it.
longer
I
be
really
looked
did
at
it.
to
Yo, have you seen the new graffiti?
hurt that individual,
Yeah,
but to honor
Insane.
him.
I have some in my pocket.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Mr. Woodson, what are we doing?
All right, we got work to do.
right,
Whoever
we're